The A7C2. It may be the perfect camera. Hey folks, this is a borrowed A7C2 that sadly has to go back to Sony this morning. I've been photographing the Little League World Series the last 2 weeks, and Sony lent me a pair of cameras. This is one, the A7R5 was the other. And this camera I really wasn't sure about because on paper it feels pretty limiting. You look at the reviews and people always talk about how small the EVF is. In practice, it's really not that small. Why do I say that? Because I have an X Pro 1 that I absolutely love, and the viewfinder in that is really not very good at all. It is kind of janky. It's delayed. Obviously, it's very low resolution. You really cannot tell what the photos are going to look like from that camera through the viewfinder. You can with this. Pretty much everything that I've heard about this camera on reviews really doesn't seem to make any sense to me. I'm going to tell you why. Well, break it down. I'm a working photographer. I am not a YouTuber primarily. I am someone that shoots news and sports nearly every day. I do another YouTube channel that is kind of a part-time thing for me, and it's based on the hobby and the business I was in before. I was in the toy business for about 12 years. Before that, I kind of had a hiatus from shooting news full-time. In any case, I'm one of the few people left, and I really do mean few people because there aren't many of us that shoot full-time for newspapers anymore. That's what I do for my full-time job. And the practical side of what this camera offers, balanced out with all the supposed negatives. The only real negative that people ever talk about with this is the viewfinder. For me, it is not a negative. It is a bit. The only negative really for me is muscle memory, because I'm used to, you know, shooting with an inline, let's say EVF or prism finder. This doesn't have that, so it's only if I'm kind of mixing my metaphors, so to speak, and I'm shooting with one of my A9s. I have an A9 and I have an A9 II, or you know, or another type of that camera. Sony, I'm only Sony these days, and if I'm kind of mixing the cameras between the two, going from inline to the offset viewfinder, that's really the only problem. Is it's like, oh nope, there it is. That's really it. As you can see, I wear glasses. Putting my eye up to the EVF, it's not that big a deal. That's really the only downside with this. I do wish it had a CF Express A slot. I don't have a problem with only having one card slot. Over the 30 years I've been shooting, I've only lost, knock on wood, I've only lost like 3 cards in 30 years. Again, something practically speaking that a lot of folks don't really tell you if they're just a YouTuber. So there really are no downsides for me for this camera. But for a lot of people, a lot of other people there might be. One of the big positives is obviously the size, but the offset viewfinder, when you're taking pictures of somebody, just like when I would use my X Pro 1 for either news, which I do from time to time, or travel, you get the half of the camera is only covering your face. That's a big deal when you're photographing people, It doesn't separate you as much between yourself and the subject. People also don't have a problem with somebody that's holding a camera that doesn't really look like much. That's a really important thing. Other YouTubers have mentioned that, but I want to reinforce that that really is a huge benefit to this camera. Everything else about it is absolutely great. I love the video that comes out of this. I did use it for a bunch of feature photos during the series. I will drop a couple of those in here. I really don't mind the screen on the back. Some people talked about that. It's you use the tool that's in your hand and you adapt to that. Yes, it would be nice if it had a flip screen that flipped out towards me so you could do more waist level stuff, which I do tend to do. But in general, this is just about the perfect camera as far as I'm concerned. I really do hope that they make an A7cs, a sort of a video-centric version of the camera, because I don't really need the resolution. I work for a newspaper. I could use that for photo. Even with 12 megapixels, the RAW files that I get out of it, I do shoot exclusively RAW. The RAW files I would get out of it would be twice the size I need for newsprint. So, you know, especially if I'm not going to crop, it's still more camera. The files are still more than I would need. And it would be a revelation, quite frankly. And the video would be absolutely fantastic. That's pretty much it. It's killing me that this has got to go back, but it does. In any case, thanks very much for watching, folks. I am going to be doing a lot more videos here on the channel. I do have a channel about toy cars called Slot Car News. That's why I'm sitting next to a slot car track here in my studio at home. I really appreciate it. And come on back for more photo videos, hopefully very, very soon.